What if there is so much love but you lack communication? How about that? Then the love is going to eventually fade. Because if you don't talk about a lot of things in your relationship, or if you're not even open in your relationship with communication, with how you feel, or whatever is going on in your life, if you lack that, the love fades. Because if you lack communication, resentment will come. And when you resent your partner, there you go. It will slowly crash and burn. I think. Another episode of the Bear It All podcast. Nice ko kayo. Grabe.
Season 2 na ba?
Di ba season 2?
Hindi
Malapit
pa.
na. Pag
Okay.
season 2, malalaman nila yun kasi improved na lahat sa season 2. But anyway, guys, today is a very interesting topic. But beforehand, I want to thank you guys for supporting the Bear It All podcast. We've been like on air for what? 2 months pa
2
lang
months.
ata?
Yeah.
Or like 2 months. And the support is wild on social media. Thank you so much. We have been reading the comments. Thank you for sharing your experiences and for
Yeah.
all the stories that you guys comment.
Yeah, your insights actually help us formulate the coming
Topics,
So,
yeah.
yung mga topics namin, it's never set in stone. Sometimes we'll read the topics or yung mga stories nyo and we'll realize na like, that's a nice thing to talk about. So thank you so much for sharing because it helps our podcast grow and adapt then to what you guys are going through as well.
Maybe for the next few episodes, we can do like a...
Fan questions.
Yeah, no, like, if whatever... Para letters from them. that
Dapat
we can
live caller
actually, like,
para-
talk about. We'll figure it out. But we're going to find time to connect with all of you hopefully soon. So anyway, today's topic is very interesting. This is like, I think, a question that is somewhat like hard for a lot of people to expound on. So the topic for today is love enough?
Ito nga, di ba? So, there are a lot of songs, right? You know, love will keep us alive. Love will keep us together. Ano pa ba?
Love conquers all.
Victims of love.
So, ako'y victims of love.
Kanta yun eh. Di ba? Okay, so anyway. Ano pa ba?
Victims of love.
So, do you think that only love is enough to make a relationship last?
No, not at all. Not at all. Whoever believes that's strange.
I
for
think
me.
pag bata ka, like when you're like kids,
No, you know
Yeah.
what? Maybe when you fall in love for the first time, you'll think it's enough. But as you progress with someone, you're gonna realize it is not enough.
when life gets real, marirealize mo
it
that
is
it's
not
enough.
enough. Maybe when you have a crush and you still daydream about your crush, maybe that is enough for you. But when the time comes and all the problems start to pour in, you're gonna realize, holy shit, love can't fix this. There
Yeah.
are a lot of things that can be fixed, but for me to say that love fixes all of it, I just don't agree with that.
Yeah, like
I just don't agree with that.
When you're a kid kasi, ano mga problema nyo if like you see each other in school lang, tas uuwi ka, there's nothing, love will keep that relationship alive. But as you get older and you realize that you have to think about career paths, school, like growing up, yung timeline nyo, love isn't the only thing that's gonna keep those aspects in your life in line.
No, for me, like there's a lot to it when you're in a relationship with someone, or actually just not really in a relationship in general, in all relationships that you have in your life, not only for a spouse or a girlfriend or a boyfriend. Love is really not enough to keep a relationship strong and healthy.
It's a good foundation.
It's a foundation. It is.
Yeah.
It's a
Parang
main
gravity.
ingredient
Yeah.
in every relationship. But there's a lot of other things that need to support that love.
Yeah, that's why nga, like, when it comes to relationships, other than love, there's also compatibility, right? So with compatibility, do you think love alone can't overcome the differences and values of a relationship, like yung lifestyle? Like, do you think love is enough to change everything, or is it like the driving force to make a relationship work?
No, first of all, for you to even reach the word love, you already know for sure you are compatible in many ways. Hindi mo naman pwede sabihing mahal mo yung isang tao tapos hindi naman pala kayo compatible or you guys have nothing in common or
Dapat love nyo isa't isa
Dapat
kasi...
to begin with, for you to even say the word love, you already know that the attraction is there, the compatibility is there, the feelings are there,
Yeah.
the love is there. So, if wala yon, you can't say you love a person, right?
Mhm.
So, it starts with, honestly, there are steps to get to that word loved or to get to that place. First, there's attraction. There's emotional attraction, physical attraction.
Mm.
Before anything else manifests in the relationship, those two things happen first.
Okay.
So when you get attracted to someone, you eventually build an emotional attraction with that person, and when the emotional attraction comes, then the love comes.
True.
And that emotional attraction also builds and manifests love. So that's when you get to know the person on a deeper level, and that's when
Okay.
you realize, am I compatible with this person?
Mhm.
Like, that's how it really works. So for me, dun mo marirealize or let's say there are a lot of factors to this, guys. In the first early stages of your relationship, marirealize mo na all your non-negotiables with your partner. Makikita mo na yung mga baho niya, yung mga, all the ugly.
Yeah, I think like kasi of course like communication kasi and trust are like communication and trust are very important, right? So are you telling me that like communication and trusts are like the best foundation to start a relationship na love nyo yung isa't isa? Kasi you have to communicate then your wants, your needs, kung tama yung mga love language nyo, kung aligned yun. So with what you said earlier, you're telling me na communication is the main thing that supplements a relationship.
No, basta for me, there are a lot of ingredients in a relationship for it to work. If there's only love and you neglect the other things, then that's not a full-grown, mature, healthy relationship. Or that's not even a relationship at all.
Yeah.
Because in a relationship, yes, the foundation is love. Alangan naman meron kang boyfriend or meron kang kaibigan or meron kang ganyan pero hindi mo naman mahal. In every relationship that you get into, of course, you need to love someone for you to be in that relationship or in that position.
Okay.
But for you to make it work, of course, you need trust. You need communication. Sometimes you need to adjust. Sometimes you need to compromise. Sometimes you need to change certain behaviors. Like, there's a lot to it that makes love work. But love cannot just fix all the other issues you have in your life. Let's say you're going to you're going through a very difficult time in your relationship. Hindi naman pwede sabihin, love conquers all. Mahal kita, okay na tayo. Yun na yun? Hindi nyo na pag-uusapan yun? Ang gagamitin mong excuse is, mahal ko naman siya eh. Okay lang yun kahit ganito siya. Okay lang kahit niloko niya ako. Okay lang kahit sinasaktan niya ako. Okay lang kung ganun na lang lahat kasi mahal mo.
Yeah.
Hindi. Like, for it to work, for it to be an actual healthy relationship, there is a deeper meaning to it. Do you communicate well with your partner? Do you get to talk about everything and anything with your partner?
Mhm.
And as you grow old together, as you grow up together, and habang tumatagal kayo, your life changes as well.
Yeah.
Your job, the status of your life, your mental being, your emotional being, mga problemang dinadala mo sa buhay mo. Hindi naman porket
Okay.
may girlfriend ka, pareho kayong problema at all times. Most of the time, you guys have different and separate experiences and problems. So, can you handle that? When your boyfriend or your girlfriend is at their lowest,
Yeah.
and you're at your highest peak of your life, can you handle that? Are you brave enough to support your partner without feeling,
Or making them feel like parang they have to worry about you.
yeah, or like kaya mo na parang feeling mo na na-emasculate ka or na pang-iiwanan ka ng panahon, or
Okay.
like,
Excuse me.
I'm just saying, you grow with your relationship eh.
Yeah.
So there are a lot of adjustments, compromise, and a lot of things that you have to actually take note of. Like what I said kanina, there will come a time that may mas makakataas sa inyo sa relationship. May mga times sa pareho kayong nandun. At may mga times sa pareho kayong nasa lowest. When you both are in your lowest times in your relationship, how do you handle that as
Yeah.
partner? I'm just saying, in that point, it's like, when there is a crisis in your life or in your relationship, dyan kasi natetest yung kung gaano kayo kalakas and kung gaano kayo katapang as a couple and as an individual.
Mm.
Like, ako maraming times na try yung relationships ko na nasa peak ako ng buhay ko, pero yung partners ko at probably there are times sa amin ni Javi ganon. Nasa peak ako ng life ko, siya naman hindi. Nasa peak siya ng life niya, ako naman yung hindi. Like,
Yeah.
how do you have to like, dun mo matetest kung paano kayo as a couple, kung paano nyo masasurvive yun together. Because ikaw, you don't wanna be the one that also ruins things for your partner.
Yeah.
You wanna be the one that continues to support, be there, be their
Yeah.
cheerleader.
I think like,
You're
sorry.
supposed to love them at their best and
Yeah.
love them at their worst.
I
sabi
mean,
nga nila.
I don't mean to butt in, but the thing kasi is like, love is important. I know we're saying that isn't enough, right? But it is very important. Like, for the fact na like, speaking factually, there was a time na she was like, super, like, walang peak pa nga like, paakit lang siya ng paakit. And I was like, stagnant and like a bad place. And even if I had that like negative mindset sa sarili ko, I never made my partner or her feel like I want you to be less successful or I want you to slow down para makahabol ako. Because in the first place, we're not running the same race. So why am I trying to catch up to you sa aspect na yun? So I think that's where love comes in. Because if you really love a person, you're not gonna hinder them from doing anything na makakaganda sa buhay niya. And at the same time, when she's trying to like achieve these goals, it's not out to spite you. It's to give you a better, parang to let your partner achieve the most she can in this given time. Because opportunities won't always be there, like waiting if you put it there. You have to take the opportunity. So even if you're unhappy, or let's say for example, yung partner mo unhappy, they need to understand totally na you can't be that hindrance because you love them. If you really love them, you care about them, you'll let them do what they need to do to reach these goals.
Yeah, like there's a lot of things that you really have to think about when you're in a relationship. Kaya sinasabi ko, hindi talaga enough ang love. Kasi nga, may mga times na matetest talaga yung a lot. Not even your relationship, yung character mo, yung morals mo, matetest lahat
yeah.
yan Kasi magkakaroon ng point na you have to be a little bit more patient, a little bit more understanding. Ang daming point sa buhay mo na matetest. And doon mo makikita kung gaano ka-strong ka as a person and gaano ka-strong din yung relationship nyo. Kasi like yun nga, what if there is so much love but you lack communication? How about that? Then the love is going to eventually fade. Because if you don't talk about a lot of things in your relationship, or if you're not even open in your relationship with communication, with how you feel, or whatever is going on in your life, if you lack that, the love fades. Because if you lack communication, resentment will come. And when you resent your partner, there you go. It will slowly crash and burn. I think that's like the best way to put it. Because I've also nagkaroon ako ng relationship na we lack communication. There was a lot of passion, there was a lot of love, but there was no communication because I was always scared to speak up. I was always scared to tell the person how I feel because the person never just listens. Never siya nakikinig. He always neglects the feelings. Ayaw niya maniwalang mali siya. And I also have a relationship that I can communicate naman. I can speak my mind. I can say how I feel. Now, that's why the love works. That's why the love works. Because
Our love works?
not all the time. I mean, that's why the love works, because the other key ingredients is working well with the love. If the love is the only thing that's working, but your relationship lacks communication, lacks trust, lacks understanding, honesty, if those things do not mesh well with love or doesn't even complement love, then you're in a bad place in your relationship.
Okay.
There is a clear sign that there is something wrong in that relationship.
So, of course, with that being said, it goes to show that kailangan nyo talaga i-balance yung isa't isa in a relationship, right?
Yeah.
And you need to grow. So, what advice can you give na you can foster individual growth at the same time maintain your relationship? Kasi of course, individual, you're alone.
Yeah.
What advice can you give for you to hone your own individual stuff and your relationship at the same time? Like, what advice can you give?
I think the best way to put it is that you are just in a relationship. you are not one person. You are still two individuals. Two individuals who are still going through life, still trying to navigate what you want to do in your life, what you want to be. You guys are still growing and learning from your own personal experiences. You're not one person.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to be one person. Even when you get married, you still both have to be
You have your own lives also.
two individual people. You still have to have jobs. You still have your own role as a person. You're still someone's son, someone's
Friend.
someone's
Yeah.
mom, someone's dad. Like, you're still your own person. You're allowed to be your own person.
Yeah.
And if you're in a relationship that requires you to not be an individual or to not have your own identity or not have your own life, you're not in a healthy relationship. Because if you are in a healthy relationship, your partner will always allow you to flourish, allow you to grow, allow you to succeed,
Yeah.
allow you to figure out what you want to do or what you want to be in your life. The moment that you're in a relationship and that partner stops you from being a person in general, you're just someone's girlfriend, you're
Yeah.
just someone's boyfriend, you're just someone's wife, and you're just someone's husband. When a person requires you to be just that, it's not healthy. It's never going to be healthy because you're always going to feel that, who am I without this person? Sino ako pag wala tong taong to? Like, ang mangyayari ba is, if iniwan ako nito, ano mangyayari sa akin? What's left of me? Because alam ko, pag wala siya, hindi ako mabubuhay. It's not supposed to be like that. Yes, your mindset is always, I can live without you, I just don't want to.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be like that. Hindi pwedeng, I cannot live without you. Why? You're supposed to know, and you're supposed to still be your own person. You're not supposed to rely your whole entire being and your whole entire life to someone. Because, number one, our lives are not permanent. We're eventually gonna go.
Yep.
And two, what if tomorrow that person decides, I don't want this anymore. I just want to be with another person. What's gonna happen to you? Like, I'm just saying, you still have to be your own person. So when the time comes,
I think for me, like to maintain like a good relationship at the same time when both of you are navigating through life. I mean, of course, like there are some stresses in each other's life na hindi like only you alone will understand. Like may mga stress ako na ako lang nakakagets. No matter how hard I try to explain it, it may sound silly to you, but I get it, and vice versa. There's some stresses in your life na it's not that I don't downplay it, but I just can't fully understand why you feel that way, right? That's normal. So the way I see it kasi is like, you're supposed to be your partner's number one support system.
yeah.
And if you go home to your partner tas hindi ka niya sinusupport, even if hindi niya maintindihan problema mo, that's not fostering a healthy relationship, because what's gonna happen is you're gonna start looking for validation elsewhere. And of
Yeah.
course, that can lead to so many other things na ayoko na i-mention because it's in the previous podcast. But that's it. It's like you go home, of course, you take into account the day of your partner. If she had a bad day, a good day, then when you heard it, it's your turn naman. And that's where I see it. It's like if you cannot fully expose yourself to your partner, no matter how, kahit kasalanan mo yan sa work, sabihin natin, you really made a bad mistake. It's your fault or fault ng iba. Your partner should be there to support you and not just enable you na, yeah, tama ka. They should also be there to correct you then. And that's how I really feel na that's how you build a strong relationship. At the same time, you still have your individual selves.
Yeah. It's always important to grow together, to have your own experiences and share them together. You're not, for me, it's like the relationship gets better if you look back and oh my God, how far naman we've come. Na, we started with this and now we're this. Like, you're supposed to share a life together, not have one life.
Yeah. The highs and the lows,
Yeah.
you should share that.
The highs and the lows, all the experiences. Let's say you get into a business, you fail, it's fine. You're still together. Or like, something in your life doesn't go right. It's okay, you can try again.
Yeah.
But if you're just going to be, like let's say, ito lang yung identity mo, ito ka lang. kung ano lang yung gagawin ng partner mo, ando ka lang, nakabuntot ka lang, yun lang yung gagawin mo. Wala kang sariling, there's nothing going on for you. Because you just want to be there to support this person. Do you know when the time comes that your partner already reached his or her dreams, and you know you were always just there and not trying to reach your own dreams, not trying to reach your own goals.
You'll resent your partner.
You'll resent your partner. You're going to feel na parang, ang dami niya nang na-achieve. Ano nangyari sa akin? Like, ano nangyari? Parang marirealize mo, magpa-flash yung buhay mo kung ilang taon yung nasayang mo. Pwede naman na kayong dalawa nagpo-flourish. Pwede naman kayong dalawa nagiging successful.
Yeah.
'Di ba? Parang you don't want the time to come, lalo na if our relationship actually works, if okay naman talaga yung dynamic nyo, but you just choose to be that kind of partner. I'm not saying it's completely wrong, ha? I hope you don't take it against me, but I'm just saying that I believe that your life doesn't stop when you have a partner. Your life should not stop when you have a partner. It should continue to grow, to flourish. It's still your life. You just have someone to share it with.
Yeah.
You don't have to completely revolve your life around the person.